Hi, good evening. My name is Rajul Dutt. Now, in continuation to my earlier, trying to put it, the, my focus is that when I discuss upon the management or managerial skills as to putting all the traits I have discussed earlier also would be like the benefits of I have been discussing, on and off that, when I'm discussing all these things, they do like that they only fit into business organization. There's no denying to it, of course, yes, but uh, as a human being, we should possess these skills because we are operating into any in one or the other business or organization. Sorry, be it be a family organization, be it be a dharmat organization, be it be a business organization, be it is a family organization, be it be a non-profit organization, so on and so forth. So where as I've said earlier also, when we talk about organization, technically speaking, when two or more persons they combine together, they come together to achieve a common objective, that we call it as an organization technically. So in a family organization, now the objective is what could be the objective of a family organization? Let us understand this way. Family, they are able to get good food, they are able to get good clothing, they are able to fulfill their needs. And for this, the total work is being divided among three major categories. For example, the father or the head of the family goes out to earn money. The mother, stays back and she does all the household chores, household work related to right from morning till evening. Children, they ought to study, in order to make the career. So the total work has been divided among these three categories, what we call it as the father. And there is a level also. The top level, the father, because members, they are related, they are into blood relation. But again, our system is such, Indian culture and Indian value system, for example, focusing on. So therefore, automatically the levels have been created. And the communication also goes in the form of from the father, it goes down to the children. Father also, many times, you know tells the mother or his wife that, you know deal with the children strictly, otherwise I will, I'll be bad enough to scold them. Now he can say directly to the children, but again, there is a line of order. So which goes, now the request goes from downward. If the children, they want to have money, for example, their pocket money, or they want to go to a movie, though it is very seldom they go directly to the father and says, okay, fine, give me 500 rupees, I'm going, for a movie with friends. No, it is, they tell the mother, and the mother says, okay, fine, I'll see to it, and after dinner I'll ask the father to for the money. It's very difficult. Had it been 50 rupees, 100 rupees, I would have given to you, but it's a matter of 500 rupees, and therefore, you know so these again this is what, this is decision making related to the various skills management. And so I'll be discussing a little, on a lighter note, I'll discuss upon as to why these skills are required for any human being, whether be it in any type of organization. And therefore, understanding good management skills is essential for achieving a successful career, or to be successful in any work you do. So these, sorry. So the, good management skills is should be able to carry out the work. Now, when we talk about work itself becomes a problem. Again, I'm emphasizing whether it is a family, whether it is a household work, or whether it is a business organization or business work, or every type of work, they have got, there are certain problems. Now, for example, for a housewife, the problem is as to what to cook. How to cook is a separate issue altogether. The main problem is as to what to cook for lunch, what to cook for dinner. So again, decision making comes into the picture. This is again a problem on a daily basis. Now, if she repeats the vegetable, the family members, they have got certain kinds of objections, and therefore, she keeps on. She cannot repeat, one decision, for days together. Now, this is, it does not seems to be a problem, but for this housewife, she has got a problem. and she has to look. Then again, the second problem is the moment she decides upon to cook, say, vegetable A, vegetable B. Now, how to cook it? Different taste, different recipes, and so on and so forth. So with every work, there are it is related to one or the other kind of decision making. Now, for this, human skills are very important, not only for the business organization. Human skills, because a person has to deal with the other person, so therefore you requires these human skills are very important. What we call it as, and further I'll be discussing in terms of its interpersonal skills. So human skills of management helps create an environment what, that if you have got a pleasing personality, I have discussed about as to what personality is. Now personality could be it is into different structures, different ideas born with it. And therefore, when I talk about it, environment, sorry. So therefore, it becomes when you're pleasing in nature. Pleasing in nature is you create an environment. If the person does not know the word, obviously gets irritated, and irritation, again becomes unpleasantness. If you know the work, how to do it, there will be pleasantness all over. So this is how it is really. Now if you are unpleasant, therefore the only people who are you are dealing with, whether it is all, whether it is husband, whether it is सास ससुर हो गए, in-laws हो गए, children हो गए, there are so many, maybe neighbors. So there are so many people around, and therefore they get affected by your own approach. So it is to help create an environment of togetherness and ensure that the team members or the family members for that matter bond over work issues as well as social issues. Now whenever we talk about people, all the issues becomes the social issues. Social issues means issues related to the society. When we talk about social, it is the gathering of the people to whom we interact with. That becomes a social circle, and this social circle is, it is again dependent upon so many factors. Now, in order to do the work, category, because I have got, I'll be dealing in detail separately. Now, today, I'll just giving an overview about all these things. So, type of management skills is the technical skills. For a housewife, technical skills is she knows as to how to cook food. For example, I'm taking just one example. So, what kind of food and how to cook the food, that could be a technical skill. In a business organization, technical skill could be where I'm good in computers, and in computers too, whether I'm good in hardware or whether I'm being good with softwares. Again, in say marketing, how good you are in, for example, sales or into planning aspect, human resource management, then your finance and accounts department. So there are other background on medicine or so and so forth. There are so many areas, uh, even in a business organization there are various types of jobs which require various exclusive skills to carry out the work in a good manner. Conceptual skills. Now, when conceptual, yesterday or in the last videos, I've been discussing about or focusing upon, emphasizing upon as to the imagination part of it. So this is very important. Now it is, technically imagination now is being, if I look at take a little further, it is the conceptual skills. The conceptual skills are these are the capabilities of abstract thinking and framing ideas. Abstract thinking is where you do not have any base rate, but you're thinking of it, logically thinking. And this is again logical. This abstract thinking is very related to imagination, where you do not have any base, where you do not have any experience, where you do not have anything to support, but you are thinking as to uh, should I go for this? For example, any product. Now, product is again, I said, people, they do not ask for the product. What the people have as consumers, they have got problems. What they discuss with the shopkeeper or the salesman, they discuss about their problems, and they are looking out for the solutions. Who gives the solutions? The shopkeeper gives the solution. Solution is what? This is the problem. This problem can be solved by this product. So actually, the product is not important. The benefits to be derived from the product is, so the customer is paying not for the product, but paying for the benefits to be derived. Now, these benefits are abstract in nature. When you use it, you have got a problem, you have to use it. Now, this is abstract thinking. This abstract thinking is what I'm referring to is as framing ideas as to how should the product should look like, what color, size, shape, so many other things, features, what we call it as. So similarly, again, if for a housewife, as to, for example, one kind of vegetable, and as to how many types of recipes she's able to cook out of it, because one is, say, already decided, but to make the different recipes invites the family members, motivates to, okay, fine, there is something new to eat. So this new again is from the abstract thinking. What can be made with the vegetable within the time framework. Now, I'll be coming on that. That is what is the importance of time management. I'll be dealing with this aspect in my further videos. So the conceptual skills is abstract thinking, and the very important is interpersonal. Whenever we talk about human beings, important aspect comes as to how good you are into interpersonal. Interpersonal is in between. So these skills helps in interacting, relating with the people. Now, with the people, in business organization, it could be consumers. In case of a family organization, it is the family members. Now, family members, in Indian culture, in the Indian system, we do have maybe we do have joint families, we do have other nuclear families. So every type of family they have got. So there are, for example, there are at least four members. So one, if I talk about a housewife, she is interacting with at least three people of three different nature, of three different, putting up in a different age. For example, her husband, maybe the older child and the younger child. So she cannot be just one, with everything. She has to deal with the all these three at a different set of, say, creating an environment to deal with it. This is why I mentioned about environment as such. Now, it is this, but the person who is dealing has to create an environment. Now, this environment, with we're talking about to a 2-year toddler, or maybe a 6 or 7 years child, older one, or her husband, which is older than herself. So she cannot be the same person and dealing with these with the same, um, for example, take it as attitude, no, or mindset. No, she has to change according to the changing environment, and the changing environment is just one parameter, and here the one parameter is age of the family members, and she has to deal with the different person differently. So this requires, a good, if for this it requires a good interpersonal skills to deal with the kind of people. And I have been emphasizing upon in my earlier videos that this interpersonal skills plays a very important role, where you talk to the people on the merit. For example, in cricket, it is, when we hear the commentary, they says about, okay, well, the batsman played on the merit of the ball as to how this ball should have been played. How many options was there with for the batsman to play in different angles, for example. So this is again, the similar goes when we talk about of interpersonal skills. So these are three basic, categorized to understand that these there are many other I will be taking in details, that would be more theoretical in nature. But here to just understand the what do we mean by skills, though I have been discussing these skills aspects of late. But again, technically, we can understand the skills can be divided into three: technical skills, whatever technical expertise you have; conceptual skills, as to how good you are in thinking, that is abstract thinking, where there's no logical thinking, therefore however you have to make a logical decision. That is one. Illogical does not mean that it is I'm talking about logical or illogical in the sense of being the abstract in nature. Abstract is where you do not have any framework to take a decision. And of course, interpersonal skills. Now these skills, what are these skills? Now these skills are the collection of the abilities related to the capabilities. Abilities is one person is able to carry out the work, and capabilities is should be able to do it. It includes things such as planning, decision making. Yesterday I discussed about decision making, problem solving. Again, there is problem, and you have to solve the problem, and for this you require the different set of skills to deal with the problem. Then your communication skills. Sorry, I'm having a bad throat today. uh, Communication skills. Communication is how do you communicate your ideas, your thoughts, your emotions, your problems to the other person, or to deal. Now for this, generally when we talk about communication, we talk about a verbal communication. Along with this, important is written communications. And again, very important, though I'm taking on the third, but it should have been on the first, as per my thinking, it is listening skills. Again, it becomes the part of the communication skills. One should develop the listening skills. Listening skills plays a very, half of the problem is solved if you develop listening skills. Listening skills is as to how do you understand the problem, because the problem is the other person is telling the problem, other person has got the problem, and therefore there are business organizations to solve the problem. Let me put it this way. Now all the business organizations, what they are manufacturing, they are trying to manufacture the solutions for the problem the people have outside the organization. And the problems, n number, you so thousands and thousands of products. What these products are doing? Do we buy this product because they are products? Just give a logical thinking of this. No, we buy these products because we do have problems, requirements, needs. Needs again has a problem: what to buy, what not to buy. So ultimately, coming to into a similar understanding is the organization, the business organization, whatever they are manufacturing, they are providing solutions to the problems of the people outside the organizations. And people, they buy the products because they are looking out not for the products, they are looking out for the solutions to solve their problems. So this is very important for us to understand, that whatever we buy it because we do have a problem. Now, uh, if I talk about these things, I'll give you a little examples of this. For example, these management skills, can be understood as certain attributes or abilities that a person should possess in order to fulfill the given tasks. Housewife, she has got a different task. Business people, they have got, according to their technical expertise, they have got different tasks to fulfill. Um Dharmat, for example, spiritual people, they have got a different task to fulfill, and all these tasks are important. Everybody has got a different outlook towards life, and therefore they, all these people, when they combine together, that becomes a common. All those people who are spiritual in nature, they are part and parcel of this group. All those people who are into business, profit making, they are a different set of groups. There are people who are working as a non-profit organizations. They are a different set of people. So again, little bit, I'll be taking these as a separate things, as to when we deal with the people, it is very important to lead. No, leader is not a politician. Leader is a person who can gather people or to bring back people to the same table, to the same level of thinking. The people should believe in this person, you know, and this is where communication skills plays an important role. So, why? What are these leadership skills? Even amongst our friends, there are people, who becomes the leader automatically, and we all say, okay, fine, let what the person D has said, okay, fine, let's go with it. So that person in the group becomes even a small child becomes a leader in the house, because he or she as a toddler, attracts the attention of the people, becomes the leader. All the family members, focuses on this toddler, and toddler is able to catch the attention of the people. So in a way, and all people, they are revolving around this toddler who is in this moving in this house. So becomes this toddler, he or she becomes the leader of the house, because all these people, they are following this particular toddler. So when we talk about leadership skills, what is it? Decisiveness, motivating, empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is when you put yourself into others person's shoes. That meaning thereby that if I'm going I'm able to do some work, it is only then I should delegate or distribute the work to the others. So this is empathy, which is very important. Before you give to the work, let us understand that the people will believe in me if they know that, if they, because I have delegated, I should be able to do it, and therefore they will be motivated to do it only then. Now if they feel that I wish I would not be able to do the work, again they will not do the work. Now this is where again the leadership comes into the picture. Patience, very important for every work, patience is required to a certain extent. Relationship management, I mean, it is, the anything which goes into it, the crux of the whole story is getting the work done, doing the work, whatever the blah blah blah. It also related to relationship, as to how good you are in establishing the relationship with the other person. Without even having a relationship, you should be able to establish what should call it as a repo between the people. So creating a repo with the people, and that too is very spontaneous. It does not require 2 3 days or 2 3 hours, and one should be able to establish the repo within no time. Mentoring, there are people, when they're doing the work, so very little mentoring is there. Even housewife, she mentors her daughter to cook the food. So this is mentoring, very important. It is the a good leader is a good mentor also. Strategy skills. Now when we talk about strategies, what strategies are game plan. So it is again planning and strategy. Why do we have a strategy? When we do have the opponents, it is only then. If there are no opponents, no strategy required. Strategy is what a game plan as to how to do the work, looking into the other side of the coin. One should be, critical thinking is very important. Problem solving nature, problem solving aptitude, flexibility, because when we talk about planning, it has got to be flexible in nature. Flexible, for example, type plan A, plan B, plan C, because if the plan A does not work, we should be ready with the plan B. So this is very important. While doing the planning, we should have a backup plan, what we call it as a backup plan. So communication skills, I say, very active listening, interpersonal communications, public speaking. You should be able to speak out in public. Negotiation, you should be able to negotiate. You should be able to explain it to the other person. So these are the various I'll be discussing more on this in my forthcoming, or for tomorrow, as to what are the other skills which are required for a person, not necessarily for only a business person. That we should keep in mind. It is for everybody, as even all human beings, therefore, should possess these skills to to have a smooth and good living. Thank you so much. That's all for today.